Welcome back to more Let's Play Dragon Warrior Monsters. Last time, we took on the Gate of Bravery, fighting Big Eye, who was unique in the fact that they were one of the first bosses we could have fought that is not able to be recruited. We'll find many more of these bosses later, but Big Eye's one of the first, so it's fairly noteworthy. Otherwise, we started working on dear Rick there, breeding him from Pork, in order to then breed Rick with Judy to create a Dead Knight for a future breeding endeavor. And as of right now, all things are going fairly well. He's learned some pretty decent abilities, and his stats are doing pretty good, all things considered. Now, there's some things we need to do in preparation for what I want to actually do today. And that being, take on the gate that is in the well. Now, in order to do this, we need a monster with lightning in some way, shape, or form. Rick, while he does have Bolt Slash, and it does count, I need to keep for breeding with Judy. So, the plan, if you remember, that we set up forever ago, was breeding that Tortragon, who will eventually learn Lightning. Now, the only problem with this plan is that it's going to take some farming, because Lightning is learned around level 10 so long as the monster has 65 HP, 90 attack, and 52 agility. It's weird and kind of rare that it's a magic spell learned via physical stats. But I figure, made in court, and seeing as Judy is already pretty sufficiently leveled, and Rick does have healing, I'm actually going to leave Judy behind. Now, otherwise, my plan here is to basically do as we did before, and use the Bazaar Gate in order to do all of the farming. Now, I'm not sure how long it will take, but if memory serves, it should be pretty quick with how long it took last time, at least relatively speaking, to just farming normal monsters, what with finding masters with metalies, getting medicine from bards, and all that good stuff. So, I'm going to keep doing runs of this, and I figure before we do so, I will show off everyone's stats again, so that way you can see how they improved and what all changed. And two, their temperaments, or well, personalities. Either way, it still describes the same thing. And of course, their abilities. So, they're all pretty good. I figure, if anything, Rick and Tort will just learn what they normally do, and if Aqua gets anything mildly more interesting than Charge Up, I'll probably replace it. At least, that's the plan. So I'm gonna hop on in, do all the farming we need, probably do a couple passes through it, just to try to speed things up, and then, once Tort there has Lightning, I imagine Rick will be nice and sufficiently leveled to then breed with Judy. I figure too, if we're also already breeding, perhaps we'll bring Cash to Mick and breed with his Lizard Man while we're at it. We'll see what happens, but I'll see you soon. So, in we go. Well, while farming, it looks like an eye clown wants to join us. So, we'll let her on in, and I figure I'll just, I guess, I don't know. Her name will now be, um, I guess, IC or something like that. Yeah, there you go. Looks good enough. Welcome to the party. Now, for you vigilant-eyed viewers there, you would know that the eye clowns do not show up in the Bazaar Gate. I figured I would give the Gate of Bravery a chance, just to see if it was faster, and honestly, it feels significantly slower. So I would stick to the Bazaar Gate, but you still can get lucky. So anyways, back to farming. Now, interestingly, between farming, I did find a master who we ended up fighting, and they happened to give me a mini medal. So, I figured I would come drop that off and make our total 6, and I'd do a quick little check-in. Here is how everyone is looking right now. We gained a good few levels, though we're still working on gaining lightning. Now, unfortunately, Port's attack just is not yet high enough to actually learn lightning, but hey, we're getting there. Also, too, learned a fair few spells all around, and I ended up replacing Aqua's charge up for Call Help. Additionally, a couple of her skills evolved. Ice Air became Ice Storm, which does a lot of damage. Additionally, her Tailwind became Storm Wind, which is super useful. So yeah, I figured it would be a good chance to check on in and say hello. Also, too, we found another very interesting item that we hadn't seen before. Bad Meat. This says that it tames monsters, though what it actually does is it poisons enemy monsters. I don't think it actually tames them at all, and if anything, I think it makes them dislike you. But it will guaranteed poison them. Well, maybe not guaranteed, but it can poison them, and it's another useful trick that Terry can bring himself. Additionally, too, while I was out and about doing our farming, I ended up finding a new seed, a life acorn. I ended up putting it into the bank, but I figured I would note it because I believe life acorns increase your maximum HP by 5. Those are a type of seed I very specifically want to save for later, for a very specific monster. Anyone who's played this game might know why I want to save those. But still, I figured it was a good time checking in, and I'll see you once I'm done farming. Well, well, while doing some farming and having encountered another monster master, I managed to get one of their monsters, being a female lava man. This just opened up some very, very, very opportune breeding for us, because if a bird and a ice man creates a blizzardy, a lava man and a bird will create a phoenix. By mixing a phoenix and a blizzardy together, or I believe it's blizzardy then phoenix, we can create an extremely, extremely powerful bird. Now, I've been trying to get the lava men we've found for a fair amount of time, so finally getting one is awesome. Again, it's another reason I really like farming in the Bazaar Gate, especially at this point in the game. It helps set you up for a ton of things. You get good items, you find good masters, you even get the stat increases from the bards. It's just all around phenomenal. So, wanted to bring that up while it happened, and I figured I'll get back to farming. Ooh, alright. So, while grinding, we managed to find a shop. I have a ton of wind staves, so we are making bank. Same with mist staves. I would rather sell them and make, 10 grand than hold on to them. So I think that is extremely worth it. It's also the reason I've been holding on to them as long as I have. So now we have plenty of money for a good amount of time, I think. Anyways, back to the grind. Alright, we're back from all that farming. Here is the final stat total. Honestly, looking pretty good all around. It took about level 15 to get Tort Lightning, but he did eventually learn it, So a little longer than 10, but not bad. Everyone's also doing pretty good in terms of their personality. So all in all, I would say a journey well worth the time. Now what I want to do is, while we're here, let's change our order, put Fort in the front, and then let's head down the well to open it up. Climb all the way down the rope. And hey there.
I recognize you are a superior master. I have a favor to ask. I am conducting research on reviving monsters. Can you give me one of your monsters with a thunder skill? Of course, I'll give you my old assistant in return.
Right.
Did you bring a monster with a thunder skill for me?
We sure did.
Oh, you brought one. Then can I have your tort?
You sure can, pal. 15 whole levels just to give it away. Yeah, that's an hour and a half I'll never get back. But hey, it's well worth it.
Now I can carry out my experiment. Thank you, Terry. When my test is successful, you can take my assistant with you.
So yeah, we're getting his assistant. Spoiler alert, we won't. We'll actually be getting a gate, which is pretty darn useful.
Even though it's for research, it's cruel to give me away. So cruel.
So yeah, it doesn't happen instantly like it did with the grill. All you have to do is just leave and come back. But I figure, may as well get that out of the way, and then head on down, so that way we can breed Judy and Rip. Now otherwise too, once this breeding is done and dusted, I plan on grabbing Slab and starting to bring him with us again. Let's see, Dead Knight +4. Absolutely, we want to do this. Now, I know that Judy didn't learn the Heal Us ability, but that's not, honestly, too big of a deal. The monster that's going to result from this Dead Knight is going to actually naturally learn Heal Us. So, although we didn't get it before, I figured it wasn't the end of the world. Now, luckily, because it will be another monster master breeding with Mick, we don't have to worry about the gender. So, that is super nice. We'll hatch her right away. Also, I said her on a whim, and it was a girl. So, I think we will call her... Twee? No, I don't think so. Ray? It's more of a guy's name. No, I really don't like Twee. It's not third time's the charm. Fran! You know, I like that. That's cute. We'll go with Fran. Absolutely. Come along, Fran. So yeah, there she is. She's even got herself a nice little sword. Pretty cool. Starts with, honestly, the fair stats. She's ordinary, which is all good, thanks to us boosting those personalities. And now let's go all the way up and grab Slab. Now, unfortunately, because all of that farming took so gosh darn long, he's probably gonna be really wild, which isn't phenomenal. But we'll take a look. He did gain a few levels, and yeah, 164 wild. It's not great. Not great at all. But, luckily, we have some ribs here. So, what did he have? 164? Yeah, okay. So, watch as we use a rib. So, from 164 all the way down to 144. Yeah, ribs only reduce wild by 20, but it's kind of all we have, so we'll just have to do. I mean, we do have a bunch of beef jerky, so I guess we can also feed that to him. Now, ideally, if we had the best type of meat, sirloin, we could just give that to him, and it would be all's well that ends well. But we were a bit unlucky in not really finding any when we went through the Gate of Peace and Bravery. So, you know, kinda not the most ideal thing. And unfortunately for what's coming up, we actually seriously need some sirloin. That's going to be a very big part of what we're doing. So, seeing as we recruited that Fang slime, and he is part of the slime family, I figure, let's look at what other monsters we have to breed. Because, if we can make a wing slime for the queen, that might just answer our prayers. Let's take a look here. We have Lot Beast, Dragon Bug. We have just a lot of beasts. But hey, we have Big here, who, unfortunately is a male, so that's not gonna help us much. Aqua is evidently a female, but she's kind of our main go-to right now. So yeah, we're a little limited. Now, I guess in that event, let's take Big, smack the OK button, and then just kind of choose, I'm gonna be honest, really anything that we really don't plan on using. Like Luck here, she's been here for forever. It'll make a Bullbird, which I'm not exactly excited about, but you can't really be a beggar. Now, to be honest, had I remembered that not even remembered, had I looked ahead and realized I needed to do this and couldn't just straight up make a wing slime, I probably would have waited to hatch Fran. So, oopsies. But I think it'll all work out well enough. Also, too, what did we get Slab down to? 89? That's not terrible. It's not phenomenal, but it's workable. Otherwise, too, let's change our plan to Cautious, Charge, and Mixed. And that way we can start properly cascading. And I mean, overall, our lineup is pretty solid. I mean, Slab is kind of the only one that really sticks out as not being amazing, but he will get there with due time. Hello? We need to evaluate our Bullbird here, because we need to make sure it is female to breed with Fang. So it is not. Boom. Hit OK. Bam. It is now female. We're good to go. Now, as I mentioned, the only problem is that, I'm gonna need to leave someone behind again. Unfortunately, the Slab is still kind of the best person for that. We're also going to need to level up this monster, because it needs to breed. I really don't care if it gets beyond level 10, because it doesn't know any skills that I care about. I'm literally only doing this breeding chain to show it to the queen. So, Now, otherwise, there is an opportunity to tame a winged slime naturally later on in the game, but I just don't like waiting that long. I would rather just do it now and progress her quest, so that way we can, see what the next thing is. Because, to be honest, a lot of her requests are pretty darn intensive. So, I would rather do all of this now, rather than wait on it, especially when later on, the rewards aren't exactly extraordinary. So yeah, so let's leave Slab behind. Again, kind of a waste that we used all the meat, but hey, it's fine. Now, also, too, I figure, before I go forgetting, let's go to Mick, and let's breed with his lizard man. Now, I'd thought about it a fair bit, and originally, I had planned on breeding Pash with his lizard man. And I still think that's a pretty good idea. So hey there, Mick. I absolutely do want to breed with your lizard man. But we do also have our eye clown here, who's not amazing, but they are from the devil family. So ultimately, yeah, Pash is from there, and I mean, they don't have that phenomenally better stats. They have Massacre and Beast Cut, which I'm on. So, I don't know. I honestly might breed the Eye Clown just because I don't think I'll ever use it. And it really only knows Blazemore. The only thing that sucks is that the stats aren't very good. Though to be fair, for the resulting monster, defense isn't really that big of a priority. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Yep, start the breeding ceremony, Mick. I know you don't know, but I think I know. So, it should result in a Lioness, which will eventually naturally learn Heal Us. It's almost like this is one of the best skills, and I like pointing out every chance we can get to get that skill. Well, you should be at least half my level. I'll send the egg to the farm. Thank you, Mick. So yeah, that will be a good opportunity for later. Also, too, another really cool thing. If you breed monsters with Mick, he'll actually have different dialogue once you face him in the tournament. Because, spoilers, and I think we did learn this before from talking to the guy, and if we didn't, well, you could have learned it from the guy in the arena who tells you who you'll be facing, that our next big opponent is Mick. So, it stands to reason to go out of our way to do this. Namely, because the dialogue's cool. Yeah, look! Now that we've come back, boom, the gate's open.
Terry, as you see, the experiment failed miserably. The big kettle was blown into bits. Sorry, but I need to ask you to give up my assistance. Instead, the Traveler's Gate down there is now yours.
Which, honestly, much better reward. Still, hey there.
He paid for it. He shouldn't have offered me as a gift or a favor. Well, maybe I put in too much gunpowder.
So yeah, it only happened because she tampered with it. Frankly, that is neither here nor there for us. Let's hop in and see what we're dealing with. Now, overall, I find this gate is pretty darn useful. You can find a lot of good items. A lot of the floors share the fact that they are smaller in size, generally speaking. But it is also one of the longest Mystic Worlds we've seen, at 12 floors total, 11 of which are random. Now, there is one major benefit to coming here. You can find Metalees naturally. Though, it's way later at the end of here. But you can find Bone Slaves nigh immediately, which is excellent for breeding a certain monster later on. So noting that is very good. As you can see, Aqua's Ice Storm does amazing damage, which will help Fran and Bull, consequently, level up quickly. Fran hits level 2, gaining 6 HP, 3 MP, 8 attack, 3 defense, 2 agility, 3 intelligence, and learns Infernos, as well as Upper, Speed, and Heal. She also hits level 3, gaining 4 HP, 2 MP, 6 attack, 1 defense, 1 agility, 2 intelligence, and learns Fireball. She hits level 4, gaining 4 HP, 3 MP, 9 attack, 4 defense, 3 agility, 4 intelligence, and learns Bang. She also learns Sap. All very good stuff. She hits level 5, gaining 3 HP, 1 MP, 5 attack, 2 defense, 1 agility, no intelligence. Speed becomes Speed Up, and she learns Antidote. Bull starts increasing. Frankly, I really don't care, so I'm going to skip reading this one out. But I have seen some decent stat gains. Yeah, all very useful. So already, Fran, catching up in that attack stat pretty quickly. Ordinary, and look at that. From all those levels, she already gained a full list. Now, in terms of things I plan on keeping, I really don't care about keeping speed up at all. I find that to be just one of the most useless skills in the game because speed usually caps out pretty early on for monsters because its max is 511. So usually monsters will hit that pretty naturally, especially later on. So I never like keeping it. Now because Aqua already has defense, I don't know if I'll keep Sap either. Realistically, Upper is useful, so I'll consider that, but Heal for sure, Bang is a must, Antidote I love having, so we'll see what I do with Fran, but for now, she's been an asset. I say as we've done one fight, not completed at all. She will be an asset, don't you worry. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of these floors, very small. Usually you find the Mystic Hole almost right away. You get good money, you can find awesome items, and you usually find other masters here fairly regularly. So I love coming here. I view it pretty much as a direct upgrade to the Bazaar. They're both pretty good, but this one is better. Now, one thing I will warn you about. Before you go coming through here, clearing the boss, make sure you have at least one sirloin. The boss here is another new exception, where, as I pointed out with the King's bad advice, some bosses can be recruited only if you give them treats. Otherwise, don't care. This will be one such boss. We probably won't see him today, but I wanted to point that out for you people playing along, following, or maybe planning on it. Still, Fran increases to level 6. She gains 6 HP, 3 MB, 7 attack, 2 defense, 2 agility, 3 intelligence. Her upper becomes increase, and she learns D-Chaos. Very useful. Frankly, I would like that much more than speed up. Oh, gains some levels, learns Lush Licks. Cool. Not that I particularly care, but useful. Otherwise, am I feeling confident? Admittedly, we don't have a lot of items. Though, Aqua does have Ice Storm. Now, what is our order looking like? Okay. Aqua will get to attack, so let's go for it. Must be the destiny to meet you here. I'll restore you, if you can beat me. That is a large if. Oh, goodness. Okay. Happy I brought what I did. Charge, mixed, cautious. Ideally, Aqua would use Ice Storm and just destroy them. Or she'll physically attack. To be fair, she did instantly take out the Lizard. So, not bad. Ooh, that's really bad. Lure Dance is an extremely annoying ability in the fact that it basically is a paralyze. And man, it's just not great. It's kind of like Lush Licks in the fact that it also, you know, gets rid of a turn. Similar to Sleep, just not magical. So, there are a lot of ways in this game to do very similar things, just under different circumstances. Breath attacks dealing fire damage versus magic dealing fire damage, or even a physical attack in like Flame Slash. There's lots of ways to do stuff very similarly. I might be in trouble here. Now, to be honest, at least, if we, happen to get knocked out, we do know that this is a healer, and they'll heal us right back up. So I was going to say, ideally everyone will gain EXP, but if not, it won't be a huge issue. 184, giving Fran another level. She hits level 7, gaining 6 HP, 3 MP, 10 attack, 3 defense, 2 agility, 3 intelligence, and she learns Curse Off. Excellent skill. I would love to have that. Huh. In that case, I honestly think I don't want sap for her. I think Aqua can handle that. Just the same way that Fran can handle another level, hitting level 8. She gains 5 HP, 2 MP, 10 attack, no defense, and no agility, 2 intelligence. Not the greatest level, but hey, we'll take it. Bull also gains some levels. As I promised, restore power. Very nice. It makes me curious, what are her stats looking like now? Wow, 119 attack at level 8. That's pretty good. The intelligence could use some work, admittedly, but, you know, it's fine. That attack stat is really good, though, so I'm happy about that. Now, obviously, I don't plan on finishing this dungeon in this first go-around. Ow. Because I do want to get that wing slime for the queen, and this is kind of just here to do some initial leveling, show Fran off, and, of course, set us up for next episode. So, fix my cascade order. So, while I know today was kind of anticlimactic, it was still a good showing of getting a whole bunch of other goodies, getting some grinding in, and setting us up for the future. I do like episodes like this, where we don't really do much more than just experience the game. I love it. I also love that Bull's now level 10. Very useful. That means we could get out of here if we wanted, but there is another priest there for some more easy EXP. And you know me, I love EXP. Can you come here? Please? No, not that way, buddy. Okay, maybe we'll meet you over here then. Uh-huh. Okay. Look, I'm trying to compromise with you. Come on, come here. That works. It is destiny to meet you here. It's also, I guess, destiny to watch you dance around. And hey! Guy's a bit of a coffee kid, ain't he? I was gonna say, I recognize half of this team. Technically over half. It's 2/3 of the team. Now, unfortunately for him, I think our team is a little more leveled up. So, although Ice Breath won't affect his Blizzardy, it's gonna nuke everything else he has, which is phenomenal. Blizzardy attacks, 12 damage. It does hurt, but we should survive just fine. Healy, perfect. Love stop spell, very useful. Get rid of that King Cobra. And then we can start beating up the Blizzardy. Now, luckily, I really don't care about actually trying to steal his monster, because I have one in the lead. So, it works out. Plus, all that delicious EXP, giving Fran another level. She's level 9. She gets 6 HP, 4 MP, 8 attack, 4 defense, 3 agility, 4 intelligence, and learns Sidestep, a move that I absolutely do not want, because frankly, it's really annoying to have this. Now, I guess, ultimately, and this is where it gets a little tricky, I want to say, if she knows, I think it's Sidestep in some other goofy dance. Yeah, okay. So if she knows Sidestep and Heal All, she can learn a move called Hustle, which is super useful. Hustle is a healing skill that does not use magic. I might keep it just because of that. I want to keep all these because these are all super gosh darn useful. But it means I'm going to have to make some cuts elsewhere. I don't think, so long as she has Bang, I really need to worry about having any of these other spells. Fireball is especially just because we know Slab has it, so I'm going to get rid of Fireball. She can keep Sidestep. Still, she gains another level, gaining a 5 HP, a 5 MP, 9 attack, 4 defense, 2 agility, 5 intelligence, and her heal becomes Heal More. She also learns Step Guard and Map Magic, as well as Poison Gas and Lush Licks. holy moly. Well, we don't want Lush Licks, because that's just not her thing. Poison Gas, also, who cares? Now, Step Guard and Map Magic. Absolutely, we want those. And seeing as I want all of these other abilities, I think we're going to get rid of Infernos and Increase. I think that is the smart decision here. Bull learns a bunch of stuff, gains a bunch of levels. Very nice. Also learns Metal Cut. Actually very useful and notable. Just because, like I mentioned, we'll be fighting Metalies here, eventually. Now, the problem with that is that because Metalies are in the wild, they'll be able to run away at will, and you may not actually be able to beat them or even try to tame them. So your mileage is going to vary with that. I find finding masters with Metalies is a lot easier than trying to get them in the wild, but you might get lucky. So knowing that you can find them here eventually is good. It's just, I think it's on the last few floors, like I'm talking floors 10 through 11, that you can find them, but it is good knowledge to have. Also, you can find giant worms and bull birds here. Interesting. Speaking of, I realistically should go back, read the wing slime, get the queen's request out of the way, and end the episode, but I figured Fran wants to hit level 11 first. She gains 3 HP, 4 MP, 5 attack, 3 defense, 3 agility, 4 intelligence, and learns Bolt Slash, which frankly, again, it would be nice, but it's just not for her right now. So, sorry, Fran. Otherwise, I think we're... Oh, another tamer. May as well. After all, good EXP. And then we'll be on our way. Holy Lava Man. This is unexpected. I imagine this fight will be easy enough. Also, funnily enough, this is actually the same encounter I got our Lava Man from. So, good to see ya. It's kind of hilarious when you get this encounter. But notably, they do hurt. Blazemore and Flame Slash deal a fair amount of damage at this point in the game, so you gotta be careful. Still, they're not all that hard, to be honest, but it is funny just seeing 3 of the same monster. 1 full point of damage, nothing we can't handle. Finish our cascading there, and ideally, finish the fight after Fran dances. Kind of the reason I really don't like Sidestep is because it wastes a lot of turns and MP for usually no benefit, but if it does lead to learning Hustle, that could be really useful, I'll admit. And hey, it's also useful that Fran gains a level, hitting level 12. She gains 5 HP, 3 MP, 5 attack, 3 defense, 2 agility, 3 intelligence, and learns Bird Blow, a skill I really don't care about for her. So, goodbye. We'll get some levels. Sure. Why not? Honestly, all in all, a very worthwhile trip. I figure let's use one of our Warp Wings and get the heck out of here. Bada bing, bada boom. Good to go. Also, too, hell, look at that attack. Holy moly, Fran. Even if you don't have a lot of damaging skills, you can still put out punishment. Pretty good. Also, ironically, Bull is actually doing pretty good. Like, if I wanted to keep a physical monster around, there are worse choices. Ironically. Now, to be honest, I think what I plan to do is I want to make sure that this wing slime we breed is female. Because I think she will end up breeding with Slab to create our next incremental slime increase. Kinda crazy how that all came together, huh? So let's see. Fang with Bull. Wing slime +2. Oh yeah. Now, the lucky nice thing is that I don't believe the wing slime has to be leveled at all. It just has to be with you. That's good enough. Very good. Now, like I said, I want it to be female to breed with Slab. So we will need to do some evaluating. But that is easy enough. Then, finally, because I feel so bad for Slab, speaking of, I do want to start taking him with us. Or I guess, ironically, I could take the wing slime with us and start leveling her up. But I want to level Slab. Oh yeah, the Lionex. Right. We'll get to that eventually. Let's see, it's a girl. Very good. We can go a Hatcher right away. And then end the episode off by completing the first of the Queen's requests. Trust me, I know this was a long, roundabout way just to prep and get ready for the new gate. But hey, it's all necessary stuff we gotta do. So, we can have fun while doing it. May as well. Now, to be honest, I kind of wonder what this gal's stats are going to be like. It's going to be a weird hodgepodge. But hey, not bad. I guess let's just call her Wing. I really don't have any more creativity left after Fran took it all. So we'll just call her Wing. And I guess we'll take her with us. Sorry, Slab. But there she is. Kinda looks like a beetle with its wings to the side. She's honestly pretty quick and fairly average. She's lazy, which, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But hey, it'll be useful all the same. So, sorry, Slab, your future mate might not be the most ideal partner, but admittedly, it will get you a lot of skills on your offspring, which will be helpful. Because as of right now, your current offspring isn't going to learn too much that's actually all that useful. Though, I do still want him to learn it all. That's kind of why I need to go out of my way to actually use him, is because I want him to retain Rock Throw, because it's really useful. Still, hey there, Queen.
Oh, that's a wing slime. Cute. For bringing it here, I'll give you a reward. It is a sirloin. Use it wisely.
So yes, that is why I went through all this trouble to open that next gate and to breed the wing slime. It gives you a guaranteed sirloin. Which, should we bring it to the next boss, who isn't a guaranteed recruit, this should give us a darn good shot at recruiting them. That's why this is so important. The only problem is that one sirloin isn't going to guarantee that recruitment. So it's a good start. We might need a little more. And while we're here, what else would you like to see?
You comply with my next wish. I want to see a king slime. A king slime looks like a giant slime.
You know, it's funny she says that. Because that's actually what we're working on turning Slab's offspring into. So that one will happen naturally, actually, which is kind of a wonderful deal for us. Still, as you may or may not have noticed, we have run incredibly long with today's episode. It's kind of been a theme, hasn't it? That turns out a game with a lot of grinding and farming is going to have some incredibly long episodes. Kinda just the nature of the beast. Still, next time we play Dragon Warrior Monsters, we'll bring Slab along with us and just see how tough that well gate is, and maybe make a new friend along the way. As always, I'm Brett. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.